Basic structure and belief system. The ancient Egyptian religion is dated back to approximately 3500 BC. The people immediately settled into the Nile River. The religion of ancient Egypt was a polytheistic, meaning there were many gods. The religion possessed over 700 different gods and goddesses. Also, it was not uncommon for multiple gods or goddess to join to become a deity. Following the development of Egypt in around 3100 BC, the pharaohs proclaimed to be at the right hand of God. In other words, they were sent by the gods to control the entire Egypt. The pharaoh was associated with Horus, son of Re, who was the son of God. Later, it was believed that at death, the pharaoh became an Orsus to help the Egyptians in afterlife. The priests were also very significant in ancient Egypt due to the fact that they were the only ones authorized to see the gods. The Egyptians believed the gods stayed in the temples and only the priests could enter the sacred area. The priest's task was to protect and look after the needs of the gods and goddesses. The ancient Egyptians built pyramids as tombs for the pharaohs and their queens. The pharaohs were buried in pyramids of many different shapes and sizes, from before the beginning of Old Kingdom to the end of the Middle Kingdom. The ancient Egyptians saw the shape of the pyramids as a method of providing new life to the dead, because the pyramids represented the form of the physical body emerging from the earth and descending towards the light of the sun. Sacred time. The sacred time for ancient Egyptians was divided into 3 seasons. In today's society, the first is now known as the flooding season, other known as Arketo. This season occurred between July to October. During this season, the Nile River rose, leaving the Egyptians believing the sun was sick. Following this season were Or and then Simu. These were growing seasons, where the sun was at its peak, leaving them to believe it was once again healthy. Sacred rituals. The ancient Egyptians' burial rituals were performed to guarantee the immortality after death. These rituals consisted of numerous unnatural procedures being carried out. This included mummifying the body. Now I know you have all seen what you think is an unrealistic mummy on television, yet they are not too far-fetched. The order of which mummification is undertaken is quite sickening and involves pulling the brain out of the nose using a hook, removing all internal organs, rinsing inside of the body with wine and spices, and stuffing the body with linen or sand to give it more human shape. They also cast magic spells and buried the past with specific grave goods needed in the Egyptian afterlife.
Sacred stories. The stories in which the ancient Egyptians proclaimed consisted of basic morals that are followed in today's society, with stories that enhance the younger generation's learning to respect elders and powerful leaders, with the community telling the story of Isis and the name of Ra, which was about violence and manipulation, can also refer back to the current generation. Other stories include the lives of their gods and also the story of creation. The Egyptians used tales and stories to explain how their world and religion was created. They worshipped their beliefs of creation, which began with darkness and swirls in the beginning of time. They believed that out of this, a god named Adam created herself, and I say herself because it is neither male or female. It is also believed to have one eye. Adam joined forces with his shadow, creating 2 children, a daughter and a son. Adam gave birth to his son, Shul, air, by spitting him out. Adam vomited out his daughter, who was named Tefnah, water. After this, there was many continuing forces that helped the land and faith grow of the ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians were very devoted to their religion and practiced their faith inside a specific temple. The Egyptians prayed a minimum of once a day. However, multiple times a day was usually the case. The religion was the key factor within the community and gave all Egyptians friendly relationships and a sense of belonging. Religion was a healthy contribution to the society, and had a large impact on everyday life. Each temple was dedicated to a different god or goddess, and while visiting the temple, it was common to bring small offerings. Egyptians treated each other with respect and courtesy and formed together as a community. They also took great pride and responsibility towards their animals, believing that honoring the animals would please the gods. Thank you.